welcome to the Flowers in the Wild. I am your host, Ajna Flowers, and I'm so excited today because we have back with us again Paula Thomassen. She's going to talk a little bit more about the book that she mentioned, Ask Your Angels. Is that that's what it's called? Ask Your Angels. And I had talked to her about some of my concerns, some of my not really wanting, being kind of afraid to step out and try because I was afraid just maybe it wouldn't happen. So she's going to talk to us and explain kind of how it all just worked out for her and give us some tips and tools to kind of get us out of that monkey mind and into an open mind that is willing and able and available for that connection. So Paula, welcome. I'm so glad to see your beautiful face again, and I look forward to hearing what you have to tell us.
Well, the thing is that when I first started, I don't remember feeling fear about not connecting. I was just curious. I didn't feel like it was not going to happen. I didn't feel like it was going to happen. I didn't feel one way or the other. And I learned early on, I can be a wordy person, but when something in front of me is so wordy, I tend to reject it. So
That makes sense.
This is the book that we're talking about. And this book is over 300 pages long. And, I have no idea if I've never met these people. I just know what worked for me. Ask your angels. And it turned out that I was not necessarily talking to angels. I was talking to beings. And you can call them angels if you want to, but they were my group of spirit guides, my spirit team. So I just had to adapt a very open mind about what may or may not happen. I assumed that because angels were talking to other people, that's why they would probably talk to me. And sweetheart, I have to tell you that because you and I are connected, there's no reason, and anyone watching this, understand that being attracted to a process, attracted to a sensory experience, being attracted to that, it's meant for you, period.
Okay.
If
it wasn't, you'd have no interest. It wouldn't even come into your radar, basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I mean, that's just like people who are drawn to architecture. I'm like, oh, isn't that interesting? It's not meant for me. People
You're like, not to me, not interesting to me, but it's interesting what they end up developing. But I don't want to do it.
It's just not meant for me. Same thing with history. Right. You want to knock my ass out for the night? Start talking about what happened years and years ago. Oh my gosh. Suddenly the glass would come over my eyes and I'd be out.
And as an example, Ravina is a she has degrees. She is just she's writing a novel right now that's in the 1700s. And so that is her thing, is history. But that's another thing that shows how individual we all are. That exactly. We kind of put ourselves into a cookie cutter, but there's no way to do that because there is not one size fits all cookie cutters.
Ain't that the truth? So sorry, I went all Elvis. Ain't that the truth? But anyway, I'm having a day.
Shoes on.
No, but they are blue.
Okay.
But
there.
So I just stayed open. I was hoping I would have an experience. I was hoping I would not be talking into a void or talking into a vacuum or anything like that. So when I did connect, I was not surprised because I felt like, okay, this is for me. Like I said, that first night, I got grounded, I got centered, and I cleared myself so that I could ask, is anyone here? I heard yes, I got up and went to bed. That's
And that
all
is
I
the
needed
main
to know.
thing, right? Is to prepare beforehand. Because if you just go into it not grounded, not having your, not in a place of stillness and centered and present, no matter how hard you try, you're not going to be able to connect because you aren't at a vibe or you're not even a solid connection for it to plug into.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. That's a really good point. Um, I learned early on that if I did not do the grounding, if I did not do the centering, if I just, was taking the garbage out, walking down 3 flights of stairs at that time. Oh my God, at that time. And,
Right.
and tried to talk to them then, I was not prepared and nothing happened.
Right. And
That,
so then you get discouraged if you're not
yeah,
understanding the process or even the ritual, the ceremony, whatever it is that you need to do beforehand to prepare for when that connection happens.
it's,
Right.
it's just like when you want to have a hefty conversation with anyone, whether it's me, whether it's your boss, whether it's your mom, whether it's your
Right.
best friend, whether it's your lover, those conversations, you have to be in the right space for that. Same
Right.
thing when you're communicating with spirit. It's your
Because you are
job,
talking, it's like if you have to be prepared for talking to what we can see, what we perceive as what we see, then
right?
it would only make sense that you would need to do that same thing because you literally are having a conversation. So we just need to understand that it is just as important to put that effort into that connection as it is to our
Absolutely.
human connections, if not more so, because that is what is guiding our lives. Those that
Well,
spirit, our spirit guides.
that plus, there's a different level of comprehension when we are deliberately and knowingly conversing with spirit. There's a different level of comprehension because, on one hand, yes, they do talk to us just like our friends do because
Right.
they are friendly beings. Excuse me. And on the other hand, it's purely esoteric in nature, charismatic in nature, energetic in nature.
And that's the
So,
other thing. I really want to stop energy. That is the key. It's so important because if I'm vibing down here and I what I'm wanting is vibing up here, those roads will never, there won't even be any residual because they're on totally different roads. I'm going somewhere totally different than where I'm wanting to connect to. So I've got to pay attention to my vibe, to my energy, and take those contrasts during the day as a way to adjust, not as, well, there my day fell apart again. No. Okay, I know where I'm when I'm vibing where I should be. I know what that feels like. And now I'm aware of what it doesn't feel like. So when
sure.
I don't feel that, that contrast is not to throw me off my path. It is to say, pay attention, pay attention, because this over here isn't connecting. So get yourself back, which means persisting and existing in a place of calm in all situations and allowing whatever's going to happen to my being to happen instead of feeling like I have to do. The only thing I have to do is stay in that receptive place and notice when I'm gone out of it and bring myself back to it. And that's in our daily lives. And then when we get that under control, then that connection, that's that spirit, that guide connection, we understand what that means when we're contrasted from that.
This conversation is parallel to and reflects upon what Abraham Hicks, what Esther Hicks experiences and talks about in Ask and It Is Given.
I was wondering if anyone was going to be is she speaking Abraham right now? Because that is. She talks about the contrast and that it isn't because things are bad in your life. It's okay. Pay attention.
Right.
Do you feel how you felt here? Because if you don't, you're not paying attention to something that is pulling you out of this place because you are trying to control an uncertain situation that's uncontrollable, or you are just not realizing that your energy is not at the right level.
Right. Right.
And if you don't have that contrast, how do you know? How do you know what that feels like if those little glitches during the day don't happen? Because if I start up here and those glitches happen, I remember what this feels like. So now, instead of just being miserable over here, I'm like, what do you have? What do you need to do right now? Hey, do your 4-8 breathing. Get your body back to a place of right here, right now, so that you are not being miserable and ruminating over in this little glitch, but you're remembering that this is a human life, that glitches and good both happen every single day, and it is which one we decide to invest our time in.
You know, I'm laughing. I'm laughing on the inside because you're absolutely positively right. Now, I've listened to a lot of Hicks videos when she's in front of a group and she becomes Abraham. And one of the things that she asks consistently is, are you appreciating the contrast? Are you appreciating the contrast? Yes. And me, if I were there, I'd be like, hell no. I don't appreciate the contrast. I understand what it is that you're trying to say, but I'm sick to fucking death of the contrast. I don't want the contrast anymore. And because
it's like, where is that tuner to get that contrast fixed?
No. And because I don't want the contrast, I have no interest in the contrast. Stop it with the contrast. I equate contrast to garbage, essentially. And so because of that, I stay away from it as much as possible. I am who I am, period. I am who I am. And I allow myself the quiet to connect with me so that I can present myself to this world as I choose.
Whether and you don't realize how important that those few minutes of stillness, nothing, just no music, no talking, just listening to what is right here, what is going on, that the universe is saying, you know what? You don't need music. Listen to what I have. Listen right now to the most beautiful thing you're going to hear all day long. If you hear it the way I am presenting it, the gift I'm giving to you as. If you're just laying or sitting there like, how long is 5 minutes? I've only been doing this a minute and a half. I thought I'd already done it 10 minutes. But I get to the point where I'm like, I'm going to sit here for 5 minutes, and next thing I know, I've been in stillness, taking in my environment, my presence for 15, 20 minutes in complete stillness.
That's really, really good. Sometimes I can do that. Sometimes, more often than not, I can't.
Right. Well, and I have recently that I've been able to do that.
I've discovered a couple of YouTube videos that help me silence my mind. I just let the music overtake me. And it's, of course, wordless or lyricless music.
Right.
One is called God's Frequency, and I think it's 821 or 982. Sure, I don't know. And that will get me into a space of
961.
I'm not sure. I'll have to send it to you.
Okay, perfect.
Because I prefer to be accurate on that. But
I would prefer you to be accurate on it too.
Will get me out of my monkey mind. you know?
Yes.
And even
Yes.
if
And
I
I
don't,
feel like that also is another modality in that stillness. Because if you are someone who needs something that connects you, that the stillness is distracting, it's fine for you to find that thing that is just brings you into that place of stillness.
963,
Nine
what they
six.
were
I knew it was 9-6. I couldn't remember the last though.
consistently through YouTube, if you go to YouTube and search God's frequency, consistently 963 comes up. So
Yes.
even if I don't close my eyes, often I will close my eyes. But even if I don't, I'm looking out the window staring at, and I choose a leaf on the tree to simply focus on.
Right.
Um,
Okay.
and that gets me into a place or space of listening.
I want to thank you for watching The Flowers in the Wild. I am your host, Ajna Flowers, with Paula Thomassen, and I look forward to seeing you the next time. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day, and we'll see you soon.
Okay.
Bye.